So I really wanted to come and share a little bit about the emotional release retreat that I managed and I've come back from in Portugal. We'll be doing many of them this year, but this one was the first one that we've done abroad. And so many learnings and insights came from this, not just in terms of emotional release itself as a method, as a practice, also with my own journey and connection to my heart, and really this alchemizing process of everything that has gone through the last couple of years. So this is a little bit more of a personal video. There were so many things that happened on this retreat and immersion, I want to call it, that honestly, it just couldn't have gone better. There was a moment in the closing ceremony when we were just like, I literally feel so fulfilled right now that I could die. It sounds super dramatic to say, but everything opened up and everything aligned in the exact perfect way that it needed to. And to be honest, the reason that this was so impactful and meaningful, not just for myself, but for all the people, the faces of these participants when they left were glowing, the most intense transformations, and it touched my heart to see this, because people really went deep into themselves, because you can only ever hold and see somebody else in their pain if you have also seen them in your own pain. So there have been many moments on this healing journey when I've felt the most intense numbness, darkness, shadow, pain, anguish, and really been like, what is the point of this? What is the actual point of feeling all of these feelings, because they fucking hurt so much? And I had this moment at the retreat where we're holding space. So as a team, we are holding space. And what does that mean? That means if other people are going through processes, whether it's a release, whether it's a meditation, whether it's anything that's going on, you are essentially that pillar of somebody who is in the room, fully present, not thinking about other things, not planning what they're doing in the evening, etc., not judging, but purely witnessing with full attention, with a full, open, unconditional, loving heart. This is called the master state. And this is something that I have realized we should be using in all moments of our day, not just when we're space holding. So not just when I'm giving a workshop, not just when you're coaching with somebody, not just when you're holding space for someone who's going through a rough time and they want to share or they want some advice from you, but to actually use this at all moments of your day. So from the moment you wake up, have an interaction with yourself, hold space with yourself. It's like, good morning, Ashley. It's really nice to meet you. Really nice that you're here. I love you. I feel you. I see you with all your colors and all your shadows and all your edges, and I still love you. Like, that moment is the first point of your day to start it off right, and not just start it off with, oh, I've woken up and now the whole world is coming at me. I've got my alarm, my plans. I've got to do this. I've got to have breakfast. I've got to go to work. Blah, 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 blah. All of these things coming up, and not just staying centered and taking a breath and staying with yourself. So this was something that was, like a refresher almost, to the point when I came back and reintegrated back into normal life, and I'm biking and there's something stressful, or there's something stressful in a job, or you have a weird interaction with somebody, and it's like, can I hold space for myself? Yes, I can. Okay, I can handle whatever this is, whatever that's coming up. So this was really a massive awakening in that sense. And this was really in the first couple of days, and it really then accumulated in what I can only describe as the most explosive of heart openings that I have ever experienced in my journey of going to retreats or trainings and doing my own work. And I have to preface this a little bit, because since last summer in 2021, I did an ayahuasca ceremony. It was like my 5th one of the year. And it left me very destabilized. It left me entering into autumn with depression coming, like crying every day, and really accumulating and getting corona, getting incredibly sick. I couldn't work. I could barely stand up, feed myself, all of these things. And it accumulated into really, really deep, dark depression. And I acknowledged that this also ran through Christmas, January, February, even to the points when I was in this idyllic, beautiful place in Mallorca. But essentially it was like, okay, if I can't be happy here, then I'm in literal paradise. If I can't be happy here, am I actually going to be happy anywhere? And I had this moment then when reconnecting to nature, reconnecting to this community, these people who are seeing you, and like really seeing you, with holding space, with seeing you for who you are. So for the gifts that you have, for the edges you have, for everything that makes up yourself, which is what I experienced by being around this kind of people. And then also being in nature really allowed me to reconnect to the insides, to my center, to my spirit, to my heart, soul. I feel like I'd been running on autopilot for months. When you're chasing approval, you're chasing the external, you're chasing all these things on the outside that just don't matter. Truly, truly do not matter. They do not determine your worth. They do not determine my worth. They do not determine anything about how I should feel about myself, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, fake friendships, the parties you're going to, the things you're doing, what your business looks like. Any of these things do not actually determine your inside value and your inside worth. And when this came back, I was like, oh, okay, I've I've not been feeling my heart for like a whole 9 months. And we had this beautiful process of doing a cacao ceremony, but combining this with emotional release sessions. Now, this is something where I've also never had a proper medicinal cacao ceremony before. So even the moment of them coming in and playing all these like beautiful songs that are like bringing you back to like connection with nature, with your ancestors, with your family, these things that we really push aside and don't connect with in the city, in normal life, really bringing this back, singing and like using your voice and actually using your voice and moving, all of this stuff that you're so constrained in boxes and masks in the city life that it's like, oh, I feel really uncomfortable to like raise my voice or to make sounds that are not normal sounds. And so we did this ceremony, and even the second of like, I got given the cup and I smelt it, purely just smelt it, and made eye contact across the room with one of my sisters from my team. And you just are received with this look of the deepest love, like deepest, deepest love. And it's just like tears streaming, this feeling of your heart is expanding, you're present. It was such beautiful medicine. And then combining this then with doing actual emotional release sessions. So a whole room, picture this. So 40 people, 20 people that are in pairs, all going into a session. The screaming and crying and joy and laughter, like everything came out. And this was so potent. Like I've been in medicine ceremonies before. I've been in ayahuasca ceremonies. I've been in sweat lodges. I've been around this cumulative energy that is being whipped up by facilitators, by whatever substances you're taking. But this is purely using some chocolate, cacao, like nothing psychedelic, and the pure emotional release process. And it was so intense and so powerful and so beautiful to watch. Like it really, it gives me goosebumps thinking back on this evening, that evening. Yeah, like emotional release is just a very, very powerful tool. Psychosomatic bodywork. It is touching on not just the bodywork aspect of things, but also the psychology aspects of things that talking therapy can't get to, and things that bodywork, like just massage, gym, somatic bodywork can't also get to. It's this perfect combination. And it is, yeah, I'm beyond excited that we're doing more of these retreats in the coming years. I'll put the link to emotional releases at the bottom. Yeah, we're part of the team that's organizing all of these things. And something else that really landed and really has stuck since coming back And Julia Hayden is the body whisperer, one of our teachers that we had on staff. And oh my gosh, this woman, genius. I'm going to get her on my podcast very, very soon. Has this whole method around the different bodies. We have the 5 koshas. So you have like your physical body, your energetical body, the wider body, the body that your ancestors and the knowledge is in, and the wider bliss body of the world. So, so good. And this woman is just full of wisdom. And for most people, she was like giving everyone homework. And this is kind of the phrase of the retreat. It's like, do your homework. Like, do your homework. And what did she mean by that? Well, for the majority of us, it was getting routines and rituals, in particular in the morning. Because if you are trying to come into the world and offer a service, this could be anything. This doesn't need to be you are a healer, you are a coach. It could be with your family. It could be with your job. It could be any way in which you are showing up and interacting with the outside world. So this is for everybody. Not in my mind, I was always like, well, I'm not a yogi, I'm not a guru, I'm not somebody who needs to necessarily be doing all of these routines in the morning because I'm not working on people's bodies all the time. Doesn't matter. She was basically really reinforcing with us, and she does this because she leads by example. She gets up at 4:30 every day and does a 3-hour morning routine. It's her routine, how she wants to do this. So with meditation, with yoga, mantras, whatever works for her. But it really gives her this ability to come into her clean and clear center. And what do I mean by that? Well, it means that then when you do come into the world, because you've cleared your mind, you've done meditation, you've moved your body, you've engaged all of these parts of yourself that then are aligned. So then when you do come into the world and you're meeting with people, you're talking with people, there's triggers, you need to help people with this, you need to do X, Y, Z. You are able to do so in the purest way possible, in the most aligned, truthful way that is your way. So this is really doing your morning routine and rituals, but don't just do them because you read something that's popular. Don't just do something because XYZ celebrity does it or XYZ yogi wrote it in his book and you should do this. But really, what works for you? What brings you energy? So for some people, that is journaling. For some, that's yoga. For some, that's meditation. For some, that's qigong. For some, that's going to be breath work. But what is it that actually works? So that's the first part, is actually like finding the modalities that resonate with you. And then the second part, which is the hard part, I think, for the majority of us, is returning back to normal life. How do you integrate this? So if you are somebody who has to start work, particularly, like some days I have to work at 8 in the morning. So is it a conscious choice then of going to sleep a bit earlier and waking up a bit earlier, even if you only have time to do a 20-minute meditation, but really noticing that your ability to handle your day is dramatically improved when you start the day focusing on yourself. So this is something I'm still integrating. And this essentially leads me to the hardest part of going on a retreat. And it is not the retreat. It's not anything you do at the retreat. It is not any breath work. It's not any processes. It's not any emotions you have to face. It's not any dynamics between people. It's not traveling or being in nature or not having all of your commodities that you'd have at home. The main challenge and the hardest part of going to a retreat is coming home. I hate to say it. It is such a bubble of bliss where you're really, it's called a retreat. You are retreating from society and coming home to essentially what is more our natural self. So we were up in the mountains, there's nature and plants, and we're eating from the gardens, and there's a vegan kitchen, and there's dogs around, and we can swim in the water, and there's fresh air, and there's sunshine, and everything is simple and humble. So the element of then coming back to the city, the noise, the people running on autopilot, the people, the agendas, I can see you, but I only have time in like 3 weeks in my agenda, all of this stuff, the not being able to get your feet into nature, onto the ground, to earth, the lack of sunshine if you're in Northern Europe. These things, this is really the hard part. This is really where those micro changes that came during your retreat you actually can then try to put into place by making small adjustments in your life. So I always find when I come back from a retreat, there's always something that shifts. There was always a joke amongst the people I used to live with. Whenever I'd returned from a long trip, whenever I'd returned from, I don't know, a ceremony or something where I'd been gone and something shifted inside, I would always come back and like half my wardrobe would get thrown out. So my wardrobe would go, the room would get reorganized. Something always shifts, whether there's friendships that let go of, whether there's people that you have in your life that you're just like, okay, boundaries are really off here. The dynamic is very off here. I do not feel good around you. Why do I have you in my life? Why am I hanging out with this friendship group if it's so surface level? Why am I allowing myself to be put in these situations that are not nourishing me? So returning is always quite confrontational because you realize actually that there's a lot of things in your life that are not in alignment with your truth and what makes you happy. And that can be a really, really tough pill to swallow because it actually means you have to take some responsibility for your life and make some changes. And that sucks sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like I call it a retreat hangover because you realize that, yeah, things have got to change and you miss the bubble that you were in. So, yeah. But yeah, all in all, what an amazing experience. And I am so undoubtedly grateful, humbled that I am also on this journey, have these amazing people along the way, and that we are doing so many more this year. And it's just, yeah, a movement that's really growing. And emotional release is just one of the most powerful healing modalities that I have experienced. And I've experienced a lot because chronic illness and slight addiction to healing. And yeah, beyond. Cool. I'll see you guys on the next video. And I wish you all a beautiful integration in your day, in your week. And see you guys next time.